You as a consumer can make sure that the food you're buying is was procured in a just way, meaning that the workers' rights were just respected. Um, and a big piece for us means it not just means that the rights were respected, but also that the workers have a right to bargain collectively. That they can, as a group, come to the employer and say, "This is what we want," and it can be salaries, but it can also be the protections that they want as workers. And you also have to be careful about the labels, because a lot of people out there have labels saying that we're organic certified, and just because it's organic, it doesn't mean that it was procured in a just way. So just make sure that when you're looking at labels, just because it says it's organic, it doesn't mean, or if it's even if it says it's fair, it doesn't necessarily mean it's fair to the workers.
Whether you know it or not, you're connected to these workers with every bite of food that you take.
Customers are now wanting to know not just how their food is grown, but they want to know where it comes from. They want to know who grew it. They want to know how they were treated. They want to know more about their food, and we're tapping into that movement and that energy that's out there in the marketplace.
The whole fair trade movement is very important to me because it's the one more piece in the organic and natural food community that feels like it was missing.
Even though we're in the early stages of this movement, there's still a lot that consumers can do and businesses can do to work towards justice for farm workers.
Student Action with Farm Workers works on multi-levels to try to change conditions for farm workers. We understand that there's some real systemic problems with regards to why farm workers are the least paid, least protected workers in the country.
Historically, students have played a very powerful role in the food movement. There's nearly 4,187 college campuses in the country. They source over $4 billion in food a year. And so we launched a campaign to shift the values in food sourcing across the University of California. And that goal would effectively shift over $1 billion of how food is sourced in this country.
One of our main strategies up to this point has been to use the place that we have as the target market or the main consumers of, for example, the fast food industry and now the food service provider industry. We're in a place where these corporations at the end of the day have to listen to what we say as students and as young people because they depend on us for their profits.
The Agricultural Justice Project is a set of standards that can be used to certify fair working conditions for farm workers and at the same time also certify that the relationship between the farmer and the buyer is fair as well.
Even if they've never heard of Food Alliance, eaters and buyers are clamoring for something that provides that transparency about environmental practices and about labor practices on the farms that produce their food.
We have also been helping to create a domestic fair trade association, which is historically unique. So we're building on the success of the international fair trade issues in terms of customers are now becoming accustomed to looking at, okay, where does my coffee come from? But there is no opportunity for farmers or customers currently at a broad level for them to say, what about here? What about America? How about farmers here? How about workers here?
I would pay extra for the fair trade because it brings a value to the food that is important to my family.
I'm Peter O'Driscoll. I'm the Executive Director of the Equitable Food Initiative. We all know that the produce industry is among the most important in our economy. It provides healthy, nutritious food to millions of consumers. We also know that the industry has some vulnerabilities. Food safety is obviously one of them, but more recently, the industry has recognized that there are labor practice issues that we'd like to address. The recent formation of the Joint Committee on Responsible Labor Practices from the United Fresh Produce Association and the Produce Marketing Association is an important step in the right direction. We believe that the Equitable Food Initiative is a big part of the potential solution to both the food safety and the labor practice issues in the industry. The Equitable Food Initiative believes that workers who are trained and incentivized can provide the first line of defense against food safety and labor practice issues at the point of production. Our program has 4 important components. First of all, a set of rigorous standards which cover labor practices, pest management, and food safety. Secondly, we have a workforce development and training program that brings managers and farm workers together to understand the content of those standards and work on problem solving and conflict resolution strategies to bring their farms into compliance with the standard.
La diferencia de trabajar en un rancho o certificado con EFI es mucha porque tenemos un mejor lugar de trabajo, tenemos un mejor ambiente, tenemos más calidad, ¿verdad? En nuestros campos.
The third element of the program is a certification and labeling scheme. Farms that are certified to meet our standards can use the EFI Responsibly Grown, Farm Worker Assured label. Fourth, and most importantly, EFI provides continuous verification of compliance with the standards. Instead of the snapshot that you get from traditional third-party audits, EFI provides continuous year-round worker verification that those standards are being met on a continuous basis. We're also the entity that brings together the entire industry to seek solutions together. Our board includes retailers, produce suppliers, labor unions, and consumer advocacy groups who can all agree that the industry needs solutions and that the best way to achieve them is by working together.
Mi trabajo empezando pues nos levantamos a la mañana, llegamos, prendemos las máquinas, arreglamos todo, sacamos las vacas del corral, las metemos para ordeñar. O sea, es todo lo que se hace en un día normal, pero que hay ranchos que trabajan de 12 horas corridas, le dan media hora de comida de las 12 horas, eso está más pesado.
¿Por qué es necesario? Porque es importante para nosotros como trabajadores que salimos de nuestra casa para mejorar nuestras vidas, no para estar viviendo como te dijera, en condiciones que meramente ya no son humanas.
Pero sin el programa nosotros pues no nos aumentaban el sueldo y pues del día de descanso ni se hablara. No sabíamos qué derechos o qué podemos exigir nosotros como trabajadores.
Pues antes aquí no nos tomaban en cuenta como cuando nos enfermábamos, ni nos llevaban al doctor y pues ese día lo teníamos que trabajar, y si no lo trabajábamos pues ese día pues era descontado prácticamente. Y pues ahora bajo el programa de Leche con Dignidad no lo trabajamos y pues aparte no nos pagan y pues ya los patrones no nos llevan al doctor, y pues eso es muy importante para mí, para nosotros.
For generations, farm work has been one of the lowest paid and least protected jobs in the country.
Los sueldos han caído en términos reales desde 1980, que provocó al Departamento de Labor de los Estados Unidos llamar a los trabajadores agrícolas una mano de obra en gran peligro económico.
90% of this country's winter tomatoes are grown right here in Florida each year. Farm workers have historically faced regular abuse in the fields, including wage theft, sexual violence, and in the most extreme cases, forced labor. The Coalition of Immokalee Workers, a human rights organization, is rewriting this history through its Fair Food program, a groundbreaking model of social responsibility based on a unique partnership among farm workers, growers, and major retail brands. Its goal is to raise wages and affirm the dignity of workers in the fields.
Hoy el programa por comida justa ha empezado a transformar la industria y a proteger los derechos humanos fundamentales de los trabajadores.
Here's how it works. Buyers like Subway, McDonald's, and Walmart each pay growers a penny per pound premium on tomatoes, which growers pass on to their workers in the form of a bonus. More than $14 million in just 3 years. To participate, growers must adhere to the Fair Food Code of Conduct, which outlines workers' new rights under the program. Fair Food farms ensure zero tolerance for forced labor. Prohibitions against verbal and physical abuse, including sexual harassment. Safe working conditions such as shade, clean restrooms, and drinking water. The right to report abuses without fear of retaliation, and a fair wage. The Fair Food Standards Council is a third-party monitor created to investigate complaints and ensure compliance through regular audits on the farms. The Fair Food Standards Council also staffs a 24-hour hotline for farm workers and helps them navigate a complaint resolution process whenever there's a problem on the farm.
Bajo el programa por comida justa, la Coalición de Trabajadores de Immokalee conduce sesiones de educación de trabajador a trabajador para informar a los trabajadores de sus nuevos derechos y sus responsabilidades.
To enforce these standards, participating buyers commit to buying Florida tomatoes only from growers in good standing with the program.
Pero todavía hay trabajo que hacer para expandir esos cambios pioneros más allá que la industria de tomate de Florida.
Your role is critical. You can help expand the Fair Food program and eliminate human rights abuses in the fields.
Juntos podemos asegurar que el nuevo día amanecerá no solamente en Florida, sino por más de cientos de miles de trabajadores agrícolas en todo el país.
Find out how you can make a difference. Go to fairfoodprogram.org.
Básicamente la coalición logró el primer acuerdo con Taco Bell. Desde entonces, los cambios que se han logrado en la industria de tomate y para los trabajadores que estamos cosechando ahí ha cambiado bastante.
Han dado como resultado una de las transformaciones más profundas que la industria agrícola jamás había visto.
We are here today standing in solidarity with the farm workers of America, and we are bringing this fight to Wendy's, because Wendy's, we need your help. We need to stop exploitation in this country. We need to respect farm workers.